so much for calling.
Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. It's so nice to be back here. So today we're actually going to be doing a flip through, and here it is. This is my Vancouver journal. I've been using it since 2019 to 2020. When I came to Vancouver, I just fell in love with the city, and everywhere I looked was like an inspiration for me to make stuff and to put it down because I didn't want to forget it. And that's kind of what sparked the idea for me to make a journal of Vancouver. Thus, I have all my favorite memories from Vancouver in this book. So let's just get started. The very first place is Kitsilano Beach, and this is one of the first touristy places I went in Vancouver, and I remember being so taken by the beauty of the place. The mountains, the beach, it's so beautiful. Then we have this farmland that I saw on the side of the road while walking to my flying school. I'm actually training to become a pilot, so I'm a student pilot right now. But on the way to my school, I often see these farms, and it's like a 3 or 4 kilometer walk to school, but trust me, it doesn't feel a lot at all. Especially because you can see mountains and just beautiful sunsets. And this is English Bay. It's one of my first few paintings, as you can see. I'm still figuring out how to use this medium correctly because it's been a while since I got back to watercolors. It's not my favorite, but definitely a cute way to catch the moment, I would say. So this is a really cute cottage that's by Kitsilano Beach. And I always look at this house and I think it's so beautiful by the beach amongst all these tall trees, like a little secret garden kind of thing. Also, I've been trying new techniques in this painting. As you can see, I've used watercolor pencils to give it that really pigmented, bright feel. Oh, so this is actually one of my favorite paintings. This is, I think, my first flight ever in the training aircraft. I'd gone with another student, and I remember looking out and thinking, oh my god, this is so beautiful, because I could see these hills that are just lush green. I could see the ocean, and then way back I can see these peaks that are covered with snow. Truly magical. I've used a dry brush technique with these really hard bristles and just pulled upward for the trees and downwards to get the reflection of the trees as well. The area around where I stay, we have a lot of berry farms, and this is way back in the beginning when I had a cycle with me, so I would cycle around trying to explore the area. As you can see, actually this is the cherry blossom season. I knew that I absolutely had to paint the cherry blossoms. I've used masking fluid to get that texture. This is English Bay, just as the sun was setting. It was actually setting behind that hill, and I remember looking up at the sky and just seeing all those magical colors, and I just took a photo. And when I started to paint it, I was like, how would I ever paint all these colors? But I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out. So this is my flying school in the evening time when the sun had set. This is the aircraft. We have a fuel pump at the back, and as you can see, it's really small, cute little aircraft. It's almost as small as a car, but that just makes it so much more fun to be in the air. This is one of my absolute favorites. That's actually Deer Lake Park. It's this little provincial park around this area. And I really started to love watercolors in this one. As you can see, I've also used a bit of watercolor pencils to get that texture. And there was this little path, like winding path with a bench, and I just found it so charming. Also, I've used masking fluid for the leaves that you can see. So this next one is also a view from the aircraft, but this is at night time. As you can see, there's the moon in the background. Also, you see all the little tiny lights of the city, and they're also reflecting in the wing. This was such a magical looking scene, and I wasn't flying this day. Actually, I'd gone with another student on a cross-country trip. This was like a little bridge hidden between these tall trees, and I've used like a dry brush dabbing technique for that texture. I just like this one a lot because I love how it's symmetrical. And on the next page we have another angle in the same location, so that's Deer Lake Park, and you can see how there's reflections on the water, and I found that really beautiful. So for this painting, there's a really nice park nearby that I go for either running or walking, and it's usually filled with birds and like squirrels and ducks and stuff. So this is one summer day when I was on a walk. This beautiful scene is actually the airport that I train at, and it's a different angle actually. This is what I see as I'm walking to or from school, and I think this is still spring because you can see there are a lot of flowers and of course a beautiful sunset. And for the fence, I actually used a micron tip pen to make those little lines. So we need to talk about this one because, as you can see, there was a bit of color leakage from another artwork of mine, and it was a big lesson for me because I realized I was using too much water and I shouldn't do that in a book like this. But this is just a scene outside my house where there's a maple tree, and when I used to look up from my porch, I would see just these leaves covering my entire skyline. This next one is actually one of the most stunning nights that I have had in Vancouver. It was a rainy night during Christmas, and I went with my boyfriend to look at the Lafarge Lake. And every Christmas they have this setup of lights and fantastical sort of light creatures. Everything looked so much more magical because of the rain. As you can see, lights were bouncing off the ground and reflecting in the lake. Truly a really interesting piece to paint. So this one is a duck pond that is near my house, and it's actually like a protected biodiversity site, but it's so calming to sit at and it's so beautiful. I really cherish it during the summer when it's filled with ducks. This is actually Mount Baker, and I saw this from my aircraft. It just looks so beautiful. It's actually in the US, but you can see it from where I fly. So this is the last painting in my journal, and in the end I have this little pouch where I store pressed flowers. They're so pretty. A pocket-sized journal from Pentalic. It's super small and cute to carry around. A few different sized brushes just so you could play around with textures and any kind of watercolors. These are super basic watercolors that I use. Also micron tip pens. These are super useful for making fine details. And finally masking fluid. So that was the Vancouver journal. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. It was fun for me to share a part of myself with you guys. I hope you found it inspiring and are ready to start your own journal. If you guys would like any other kind of videos, please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with whoever you think might enjoy it as well. Okay, thank you guys.